baby girl, you just gotta be worth it.
Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Miss Van. If you're new, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get to the chat. So today I'm gonna do a story time on me running away from home. So I was about 17 years old, going on 18, and I guess I was being, I don't know, deceitful, bad, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, your girl decided, it was friends that want to hang out, people I want to, hang out. And, my parents was like, there was more shelter. They was like, protecting me. They didn't want me to be going out. Because a lot of girls, they was going to clubs, a lot of them drinking. Some of these, dudes, they be smoking weed, all kinds of little stuff. But me, I want to see what was out there. I'm young. I was tired of staying home all the time, hanging out. And of course, y'all see I got my little Mickey D's bag. Y'all could just... Oh my God, that big cup. Okay, back on the script. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I had wanted to go hang out with people. Like, I guess I say, friends. Because, like, yeah, I had friends and stuff like that. A few friends. And I just want to see what, like, the street life was about. And I had wanted to see a friend. Well, I say, yeah, a male friend. And then, as a father, you want to, like, protect your daughter. And me, I wasn't trying to have that. Because when I want to, hang out with friends, he was being a father, a parent. You got to, he got to meet their parents. And, see, where I'm going to be. I mean, that's kind of, to me, that was kind of embarrassing. But now, as that I'm older, I see that's, that's just being a sake of people is crazy. And I'm going to do the same thing with my kid. I got a 10-year-old son. I will not let anybody, everybody, be around my son. Because people is crazy. So, long story short, I had wanted to go hang out with this dude. And yeah, at the time, yeah, he was my boyfriend. I want to hang out, but, my father did not accept, boys. It was always, about school, being young, just being a child. But me, I wanted to hang out with him. And, of course, I shut down. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to do nothing. Not nothing. So, then, so I just, like, I really, like, it was, like, a couple of days that we were just, like, I was upset with him because I wanted to go out and hang out. And I couldn't because he was a parent, was more, like, I don't know, he sheltered us for a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff, I did not see it until I was about, probably was about 17, 18. I seen a whole bunch of stuff. But long story short, he was at work, and I was, it was my brother home at the time, and I was like, upset, and I was like, I'm about to leave, and he was like, well, if you're gonna leave, then you need to go ahead and do it before, he come back home. So it was probably, he get out about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I'm in here just rumbling, getting the biggest bag I can get and put my clothes in. So I'm putting in my clothes, my deodorant, my lotion, all that. So I had called my friend. I was like, well, I'm about to come and live with you. So she was just like, for real, you about to come? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to come. So at that time, I was a child, I was young. So my brother was like, well, if you about to go ahead and leave, I'll call you a taxi. But just don't tell my dad, tell our dad that, I called him. So he called me a taxi, had my bags ready. I mean, I still had stuff, in the house because I took all of it. So he called me a taxi, and I had a few dollars. I think I had like a couple of dollars, so I had, I was able to pay for my taxi ride. And when I got there, I, called her up, like, okay, like, where you at? And she was like, I'm at my friend's house on the street. So, I got there. And she was cooking, I believe she was cooking chicken at her friend's house. And she was like, girl, I did not know you was going to come. And I was like, yeah, I was going to come. She was like, did your daddy know? And I said, no, I just got tired of being, home. And I can't do nothing. And she was like, dang, I did not know you was to come. All right, it's a twist to the story now. So, so that same day, her mama did not know that, it was coming. So her mama had called my daddy, which is like, though your daughter is like at my house. And he thought so, no, I did not know. And she thought so, well, what you gonna do about it? And she thought so, well, that was her decision, and she made that choice to leave. Then she grown now, or she old enough to make her own, state stop. So if she need anything, then she could call me. Which, of course, he was probably upset because I left him. So she was just like, oh, okay. Well, your daddy said, you was wrong. So she was just like, both of y'all talk about. So I did not even know. Erica didn't tell, well, my friend. Oh, she did not tell me that, somebody was gonna come stay at my house. Talk about somewhere. So at that time, I was a child, and then, I quit my job because I was working at Wendy's up the street from, the house. So I quit my job just so I could, see what life was about. And let me tell you how stupid it is. So I called up and I quit my job because, I just want to, see what, the real world was about. I mean, so, my daddy called, well, she called my daddy. And after that, she was just like, well, my friend was like, okay, what did he say? So, well, she said she was grown. And if she wanted to stay with me, then, that's, left up to her. And so after that, days go. So then, like I said, we was going to, so then, like maybe a couple of days later, she was like, do you want to go, like, out? And I was like, out where? She was so, well, my friend, he works at a club. And it's not no club down here. What is it? No, YouTuber. I'm doing it. Go ahead. Yeah, I can't even do this YouTube because my son is right here.
Ma'am, can I please get a pencil?
It's one in your room.
Okay.
Here, get two.
Thank you.
No, go out. I can't. Close the door all the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a lock on my room door. I mean, I don't have no privacy. Like, no privacy at all. I don't have no privacy. Everybody come in my room when they get ready to come in. Jaden, get out now so I can do this. I mean, I don't have no privacy. No privacy at all. I'm 30 years old. I don't have no privacy. I'll just put all my darn business out there because I ain't got no privacy in this house. But, sorry, y'all. My rude son is just so rude. But anyway, where I was, so we went to this club, and this club was not in, North Carolina. This club was like, country. So that's where we used like, hang out at. We used to go to the country. So she had a friend that, work at the country. So, that was not my first time, getting a drink. And then, of course, they even cooked there too. So, they were like selling plates and getting drink. But, since that was her friend, we got our drinks and our food for free. So we was doing all that. I ain't gonna tell you why, the reason why we was doing that, but that's none of nobody's business. But yeah, we used to go to clubs on weekends, like Fridays. No, it'd be like about Saturday, maybe like Saturday or Saturday. Fridays or Saturday we'll go out, and we go to this country, and mostly, let's say, it was no young girl. Only young girl, it might be even like a few people that was young. Most of these people was like in their 40s. They look like they old heads, talk. But anyways, yeah, we was going to club, all that good. So, days go. We doing good. We good. We good. So then we went to this one of her other friends' house. I forgot her name, but I ain't gonna tell her anyways. We went to one of her other friend's house on the south side, and we used to just hang out, chill, and at the time, I was single, so I was, we used to chill and hang out, and it was like maybe about 3 or 4 boys that was like, at that house. So, I ain't know nobody. So, of course, we laugh and chilling with them. And then, like, when they get kind of like dark, like, and we used to spend the night in the house too. And, I'm just chilling. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm good. I'm chilling. And, we chilling. Then, like, maybe, like, probably, like, what, a Sunday? Maybe we'll walk back to her house or get a ride back to her house. And we'll go and chill at her house. Do what teenagers do, sleep, eat, and go out when it's time to go. So, that's what we were doing for a while. For a good long while. Was just chilling at the house. Chilling at her house, and then going to see, or going to her friend's house to hang out with, a bunch of niggas, as I could say. Which that didn't end well either. But, and so after that, I mean, this story ain't gonna be good, sweet and peachy cream. This gonna turn sour. So, it's gonna be a bump in the road. So, we was doing good, and, I had my stuff there and all that kind of mess. I had all kinds of little stuff. So, we had a falling out because I guess I had some shoes, and they ain't nothing but little cheap little flip flops, and like when you wear them they gonna break because they ain't nothing but little cheap shoes. So I got upset, and I told her sister that I was just like, dang, your sister messed up everything I let her use. And I told her, and she was like, yeah, she just going along with, oh yeah, that's true, And I said, I don't care if she wear it because your sister's my best friend. Let me tell y'all, she didn't say nothing then. So then, I guess she let that, she let it go. So then, everything is cool. We go to the store, we walk to like Rainbows, or we'll go to like, because a lot of people say I'm more like to myself. I don't have a whole bunch of friends. I don't do a lot of friends unless I'm with, a friend. They got friends. That's how I meet people. But so after that happened, after we left, her friend house from the south side, we'll come home, watch TV, and then on weekends we out again. It's just like a routine. We'll stay in the house sometimes, or we'll go across the street because she had a friend across the street where she was staying at the time. We used to hang out at her house, and she had like little kids. She had a baby at the time, and she had a little girl. So we used to hang out. Excuse me, y'all. It's so rude to eat. Until we used to go over to her house and hang out and chill and whatever we do. Because, she didn't like to, stay at home all the time. So, we'll chill over her friend's house. Come, like, when it get dusk dark, we go back to her house. And then, like, any other time, take a shower, go to sleep. And then soon, we went back to the south side, to her other friend's house. And, I guess at the time she was talking to this dude. I guess they was, gonna be boyfriends, girlfriend, whatever, So, we was her friends, so me and her sister always, hang out with them. And they was cool people. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. They was cool people. Because they used to let us, spend the night at her house, hang out at their house, And you know, Sonny, we was grown. We was grown. I mean, we be those damn boys, like, we probably were about 17, 18. These niggas was not 17, 18. Those niggas was like in their 20s. I'm telling you, we was grown. Like, at the okay, so I was 18. So these niggas were about like 25, 26 years old. We teenagers, and we talk to grown men. I mean, talking to pure grown men. We talk about, I mean, at that time they didn't have cars, but I mean, we were just talking. I mean, just being grown in the fast in the, what they say, fast in the ass. That's what we was doing. Because, see, me, I don't like to talk to people really my age because, like, I mean, like, some of us, like, we is not, like, some of us, like, the dudes, they not mature enough. They childish. And so, well, right now I'm talking to somebody my age, but usually I talk to people like maybe, if I'm like 19, I'll talk to somebody that's 26 or 27. I don't like people my age usually. So then after that, you know, her sister. Let me tell y'all, I'm skipping through some of this part. So, cause it's the same rerun. Like, you know, we go to her friend house across the street from where she's staying at, and then we go to the south side, hang out. You know. So let me tell you. So her friend already had, like, her friend already had a man, right? And her man was talking to, you know, to the sister. And I can tell you who was talking to the sister. And let me tell you where I was almost about to get my behind whooped. So, you know, I'm a friend. And usually friends don't tell our friends, but the girls, the woman was, she sounded pitiful. So she was just like, you know, she's like, okay. She's like, okay, Miss Van, did you see so-and-so talk to her, or is so-and-so doing this, or do you see so-and-so holding hands? They holding hands. So me, I'm being a friend, which I ain't gonna do this no more, but I'm like, yeah, I think they was, you know, they're holding hands. And come to find out, the sister, which is her sister, was my friend, so I'm over here ratting on her. So I told her, I said, yes. So I said, yes. And so, like, she was, like, blind for a good long time. And I was like, in my head, like, you telling me you got a whole dude and he messed with another whole woman in the same house that you lay your head down and you still don't know? But, you know, I ain't gonna sit there, I ain't just sit there snitch, but I just felt so bad for the girl. Like, she pulled me to the side, she was like, can you walk me? And I said, yeah, cool. And she was like, do you see so-and-so holding hands? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I really feel sorry. I feel sorry for both parts. I done read on my, you know, friend. Then I read it on, you know. I don't like them. That's one thing about, That's one thing about girls. One thing about you, if you know your friend is doing something, whether it's good or bad, don't snitch on them. Just pull them to the side and talk to them, or whatever, or just keep your mouth closed, because it's not gonna end good. It's not gonna end good. So of course, me being a big mouth, I say, yeah. So I guess she let it go. And then, I mean, we all know what they doing, you know, but ain't nobody gonna sit there and tell it. But me, my stupid behind told it. So I told it. So it was like, you know, so then I remember a little bit of it because it's been a little while, years. So then we went to the library. Was it? Yeah. So we went to the library, and I heard her sister telling, you know, her like, oh yeah, you know, she told So I call her Shelby. She told Shelby that you was over there talking to her. And so I heard her, her sister was like, I don't care, so I don't care, which I knew right then and there. She cared, and I heard my name. I said, oh shit, I'm about to get I'm in the midst. So she was like, yeah, she over there done snitched. She done, and I'm just back in my head. I said, oh shit. So, and this was in live. She was like, I don't care. And then, so, I knew it was something. She was like, I'm ready to go home. I said, okay, we gotta go home? She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. And she ain't said, like, when I said we was walking, she ain't said shit to me. She ain't said nothing. I said, oh shit, she pissed off me. So, everything was calm, cool, collect. So, and I knew, like, I don't know, she just like the type, she wish she would be my friend. So, it was the next day. And I was getting kind of tired of, doing what we was doing. So, I guess she thought I had attitude, so she stopped. I guess she didn't want me to hang out with her because she thought I had attitude. So I was kind of like, a little annoyed because, like, it was hot. We hanging out with these dudes. And I'm just like, I was just getting annoyed because, like, the time they didn't have no house. They didn't have nowhere to stay. And we just from house to house. And it was just, like, no life. But I thought it was life, but it was no life. That was not no life either. So, I was just like, so they woke up the next day. And she was just like, Keisha, you coming with me? So, me. I guess she probably didn't want me to hang out with them since she felt like I had attitude, which I was a little, I was a little upset and aggravated. It wasn't with her, but it was just, we just do the same thing over and over and over. I just got tired of it. And she was like, no, you stay here. Like, she told me, she was just correcting. She was like, no, you stay at the house. Me and Keisha about to go, because they don't want a lot of people over there anyways, which I knew that was a lie. That was just, I don't want you to come. So, so I guess her and, her sister, I know how to say the name, but, they went to wherever they was going. She said, you stay here. So I was like, damn, okay. And then her sister told everything I done said or told her. And when I said that girl called me up, she was like, what is you doing? What you say? What you mean that I messed your stuff up? Da-da-da. Oh, honey, baby, I was about to get my ass whooped. She said, what you doing? Da-da-da. So, I was just like, well, yeah. I was like, I wasn't. What she said, she was like, I didn't mean to tear up your shoes, which I know she didn't, but, me, I know how to take care. Some people, they hard, they rough on your stuff, but me, I'm kind of more gentle. Flip-flops, it was like, I think it was one pair, I believe, it was one or two pair that was just like, because I don't care about, materialistic things, but I was like, damn, my shoes and stuff. And I'm going to say, it was $1. Like, that's just how dumb, like, young people is. So, then, her sister must have told her that I said that she missed, man, let me tell y'all. She got on that phone. She was like, oh, what you said about me? I was like, I beat your ass. I'll be wrong. Da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah, I was wrong. Da, 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 trying to, I shouldn't, yeah, but if I would have, da, 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 everybody thought I would have done you wrong. Which she had every reason to lay my ass out because I should not have said that. So, so then she was pissed. So, it was two of them. And I'm living with, her and her mama. So it was both of them mad at me. I'm in the house. Her mama didn't want me there for the get-go. Then it was her sister and, her. I'm going to call her Shelby and Lena. So, honey, Lena was not having it. She just shut down. Like, she was mad at me. She didn't want me hanging out with them. Sometimes I'll try to talk to her. She wouldn't talk to me. I'll text her. She wouldn't ignore me. I guess she just got tired of me, period. And, so then, like, it'll be like days. They'll just go off without me. And then, like, I just knew right then and there you know, our friendship was going down. Like, you know, she didn't want to, you know, fuck me. So then we was at, this is when like school, matter of fact, school was just starting, but me, I was in no predicament of going to no school. Like, for one thing, I didn't have no new clothes. I had no new clothes. And I didn't want to go. I just didn't feel like at that time, which I could have done because it's not about the clothes and look. I didn't have nothing. And then I was like, if I go to school and her mama, you know, kick me out, then what I'm going to do? How I'm going to get there? With no car, no money, no way, no nothing. So I ain't go to school. I had stayed with, you know, her friend. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm telling the story wrong. So it was one night, I guess her mama was like, you need to get your clothes and get out of my house. So I was just like, you know, we would just come from, you know, her friend house across the street. She was like, you need to get your stuff. Y'all two could come in there, but you gonna, you know, you need to get your stuff, go back to your daddy house. She been saying it for a minute. She was like, you need to clean up this. So you need to, okay. All right, I'll get in a minute. Do you finish it? All right. So she was just like, you need to get your, you know, clean up this room and get your shit, go to your daddy house. So I was like, all right, cool. So, you know, I ain't just jump up and go because I knew, like, at that time, my daddy was not going to let me come back to her house. So then I asked, you know, so then she was just like, well, I was like, okay, so girl, I was like, what's wrong? Why your mama's kicking me out? What I do? And she was like, I don't know. Like, you know, it's they. But I already know now because she told me. But she was just like, I was like, girl, ask your mom what I do to her. Da, 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 da. And she, you know, she was like, I don't know. So I was like, this is in my pocketbook. Because, you know, at that time, I didn't have nowhere to, you know, bring my clothes. Let me tell you the flip side. So then I was staying probably across the street like maybe like 3 days. 3 days at that girl house. So then my boyfriend at the time, he was just like, so where you at? And I was like, I'm at one of her friend's house. I said, her mama had kicked me out of the house. So he was just like, well, you come with me and stay with me. So, you know, of course, what I do? I went with him because if I didn't go with him, her friend was nice enough to let me stay there. But I know how girls are. They don't want no other person, especially I'm not your child, your cousin, nothing. I was no family. So, you know, daggone what, I went with him. You daggone right. I went with my boyfriend. So he was just like, oh, well, meet me at the church. And this is when school just started. So he was like, meet me at church. So I said, all right, where's the church at? He got, so you tell me you don't know where a big ass church at? So I was like, no, I don't really deal with a lot, you know, I don't like to walk around. He said, come on. You know, he was waiting for me. And, you know, of course, I know I got my ass cussed out. So, so I had went, you know, this was school was, you know, starting. School was in, and her, I guess I said it was her niece or her cousin, I believe, had walked me to the church. She's like, well, I'll walk you halfway, but she was like, I'll get in trouble if my mama see me because I'm supposed to be at school. So she walked me halfway, and then, like, I told her thank you, so she turned back around. So I was like, thank you for walking me. She's like, oh, no problem. So then I'm, like, on the phone with him. And he was like, where you at? I'm coming. And I saw the church. Like, I kept walking, and I saw him. So we went back to the south side, to the house, to his friend's house, and, you know, I'm telling you, this is how stupid I was. Like, he ain't had no house, he ain't had no car, he ain't had nothing. Only thing we had was clothes on our back and the shit that we was carrying. So I had, like, a pocketbook on my bag, and a book bag, and a pocketbook. That was it. And then, like, the next day, you know, Linda, she decided to call me. She was just like, I mean, you know how people is, they stir up. But, you know, me, one thing about me, I'm not going to be sitting here and be, and, you know, make the problem worse, which is already. So she come up, she was like, oh, yeah, I know you was talking about some dude. And I was like, girl, who is that? And she was like, what she say? What she said? She was like, she was just like, well, you can act crazy if you want to. You know exactly. You was talking to my boyfriend at the time. I was like, I don't know who that is. So she was just like, she like, well, whatever. You know, this was like all in a text message. You know, just, you know, being disrespectful, you know, da-da-da-da. Because I guess, you know, about the you know, the little incident about the shoes. Which they wasn't shoes, they was like flip-flops. So I guess she was, just making it worse. So I guess she thought I was the type of woman to sit there and argue and fuss and go back and forth. But, me, I'm the type. I do my little dirt. Yeah, I do my little dirt. And I'm not all that innocent because I do my little. But one thing about me, I never will. If I know that's your dude, I'm not about to sit there and mess with your dude unless I don't know. If I mess with them and I don't know that's your dude, that's not my fault. You gotta check your man. And that's one thing about some of these women. They'll sit right here and I'll ask the dude, like, that's one thing. When I start a relationship, I always ask a man, like, okay, is you, do you got a girlfriend? And they, of course, they're gonna say no. So I'm, believing them. And come find out they have a girlfriend, they pregnant. I'm just like, well, I asked someone so and so, and this is how a lot of girls get in a lot of social, because the dudes lie, and of course, they don't care what the dudes. They mad because you talking to them man, and I'm just like in my head like, check them out because they sit here acting like they single. But anyway, so that's the story. So she called me, she was saying I was talking to one of her dudes at the time or one of her ex or whatever, I don't know. And she was just like, well, you got 3 days to come get your clothes on here to stop at the army. So I didn't never come and get those clothes. Not never come and get those clothes. Because how I'm going to come get the clothes and I didn't have no car. I didn't have a lot of people that I knew of. A lot of my family was mad because I done, something stupid. So how was I going to get the clothes? So those clothes probably went to everybody at that darn, at that apartment complex. It must have went to everybody. She probably did get rid of them. I don't know. And I don't care because that's a long time ago. So after that, me and my boyfriend, we was like, living together. I mean, sleeping at other people's houses that I don't know, like some, people that he know of, like, and that was not no life to live. I mean, I just see all kinds of stuff, like, when I'm saying, I'm like, really, I'm a child, I'm 18 years old, 17, I'll say about 17 at the time. Yes, I was 17 at the time, so this is the tricky part now. So me and honey, your girl be everywhere. So we just lived from house to house to house. So it was this girl named, we're gonna call her Susan. So this girl named Susan, this was my boyfriend, one of, his cousin girlfriend at the time. So, she was giving him somewhere to stay at, because she was just like, oh, I know somebody that that you could stay room with them. And I guess she was like, who? Because I need somewhere to stay at. So, we need somewhere to stay. She was like, all right, I got you. Da, da, da. So it was an older woman. I said she probably was in her middle 40s, I believe, at the time, or 50s. And she was not to let us stay. But at the time, this is the tricky part. She met me. She did met me. But at the time, I used to hide because at the time it was only supposed to be one person, which is supposed to be him. But me, he used to he'll tell me to, wait, outside back of her house until she go to sleep. So she'll go to sleep, and she had upstairs. He'd be like, we literally like tiptoeing, like taking her shoes off and everything, so it don't make no noise. We tiptoed over to her house, and he let me, sleep. I mean, like. So then, type of that. And this is when it got crazy. So the girl just been everywhere. So okay, so it was something. Him and so all that was fine. We was doing that for a while. So then the trick is her friend. I said her friend, the one that lived on the south side, him and a few of those, dudes, I guess they stopped, being cool, and they wasn't getting along with the fact, and that was the time that she went, I guess, one of her people house or something, because she wasn't paying the bill or something. And at that time, I guess, they found out that, he been staying there, and he was, you know, doing things he had no business. He was taking their washing machines and selling them. And then, like, the thing is, he's about to get me in trouble too, because they was just like, was you with him when he was doing all that? And I was just like, no. And I told him, I'm not about to be in no parts of this kind of stuff, because, you know, that was wrong. And he let the dog out. You know, they had a dog. He let that dog out to the streets like he was pissed. I don't know. I forgot what was it. But yeah, he done. And then I guess they came back home. And they found a washing machine gone. They found a dryer gone. And the dude brother had texted him that morning, which was like, hey, yo, you need to leave. Because my brother and, you know, call her Shelby called the cops on you because you took their washing machine and a dryer, and you I guess got rid of the dog. So they was hot about that. They came home to nothing. Or they had the bed and stuff and the couches and stuff, but their washing machine and dryer was gone. So his brother was texting us like, you need to go. So he ain't had nowhere to go. So he went to, so we just saw like a whole bunch of cops. We just saw a whole bunch of cops. And he went back to the woman that let him stay at house. He went back there. And he ain't had nowhere. And I said, what the heck that you done? And it was like so many cops. When I say it was cops, I said, what in the world you done? He was like, I ain't do nothing. Just start paying them attention, they'll go away. They ain't go nowhere. They just like really like circling the whole area. Like literally circling the area. And come to find out, like he was still texting, him. It was like, well, they got a warrant for your arrest. I said, what the heck? I don't know. He did something in his previous life. And I guess he been running from the cops or from the law. And I don't know what I still don't know what he done. Ain't none of my business. But I was just like, what do you do? He does another thing. He was like, just stop paying them attention. And he was like, don't pay them attention. They won't, they'll keep going if you don't pay them attention. And so they were slowly, and I guess, we was on the porch. We had nowhere else to go. We was on the porch, and they slowly stopped. Then they jumped over the thing, and it was like, stand up, like proceed, stand up, put your hands behind your back, and da-da-da, and then, going through, like, anything you say, da-da-da. So they took him in, honey, and let me tell you, I ain't had nowhere to stay that night. Not nowhere. And the woman was like, yeah, I got my porch, I'm sorry, but get off my porch, do you know he, I was like, no, I didn't know, because I didn't know what happened. I was like, no. And the police was like, how long you been with him? And I said, not that long, and which I haven't. And that nigga was doing, I don't know what he done before I met him, but he was doing something he had nothing doing. But then, honey, your girl, and then so I had went back to, around, the corner where he was, like, for some of his friends there, and I asked him, like, can I stay at your house? And so I got my lease. So one of them was like, yeah, you could, like, stay with me. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. So then, so I was with one of his homeboys, and I was living with his mama in Taylor Homes, and I would probably stay there for a couple of nights. And I was like telling him, like, look, I need, a job. I said, I can't be living with your mama and I don't have no job, because I gotta get, make sure I had something to eat. And when I say I was hungry, I was hungry. I don't care. I thank God for watching me, because just like they said, God always watch over the fools and babies. I was the darn fool. He had to watch me. But they were so nice. They bought me tacos. They'll cook for me. It's nice people out there. That's why I always try to teach. That's why they always say treat people with kindness and respect, because it'll go a long way. You don't know who might, give you a glass of water, and that is a true thing. So I was staying with him for a couple of weeks, And I'm just like hungry. And so then, I was like, so, me doing stupid stuff. So, a man is a man, and y'all know where that went. That didn't work out, so I had to get up out of there. So then, I guess I was walking around, and that same day when they picked him up, I was walking around, and that's when, the one that called the police, he was just like, oh, was you with? I was like, no. He was like, oh, somebody said. I said, no, I was not with him. So then that's when I had met the boy that was living with the home, and they gave me, somewhere to stay at. And I do thank them. I really do. And, so then that didn't work out. Like, I stayed at his house for 2 days, and then I tried to, like, go downtown, look for a job. And nobody ain't called me or nothing, so that was out the door. So then, I'm just like, worried. Like, I'm just like, dang, like, I need to find me somewhere, like, I actually, like, somewhere to lay my head at. So, my boyfriend, cousin, girlfriend at the time, sorry, y'all, I'm looking at the time because I'm supposed to be going somewhere. So at the time, my boyfriend cousin wife let me live with them. She talks to where you staying at, and I was just like, it's so and so. So she talks so with him, and I was like, yeah. She talks, oh, that's ain't that your boyfriend friend? I said, yeah. And she talks, oh, girl, you don't need to do that. Which I know it was wrong, but I mean, the girl, they had nowhere. That was my fault. Had nowhere to go. So she took me in. And so I was living with her at the time. So, she was really nice. Yes, she was nice. And I thank you. If you out there, thank you, girl. Because you saved the girl. Because, honey, baby, I've been somewhere gone, dead. So, and this was on the south side, too. I forgot the apartment's name. But they done changed them. It's right there. I don't even know. But anyways, so she took me in. And when I said she helped me, she did help me. She, at the time, she helped me. Yeah, she did help me. She gave me a roof over my head. She gave me clothes. Because, I think I was wearing some of her clothes, too. And then the shoes, she let me borrow some of her shoes, too. And I used to hang out with her. Because, she was a good friend. She was keeping me off the streets. Because she was like, you can't live like that. And so, she used to, she was being a friend. When I say a friend, she was being a friend. And everything was good. Months, we was good. So, yeah, I did stupid stuff. Yes, as is that, yes, I did stupid stuff. And, so she let me stay with her. So, she let me stay with her. Because she was like, well, I'm going to have to ask, my boyfriend, see if it was okay. So he was just like, he just not too long got off of work, and he was just like, well, this is real, I mean, so and so, girlfriend, cause he told us, oh yeah, I'm cool with that. She could stay. Da 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 da. That wasn't a good idea too. And so I stayed with them, and it. I mean, but it's still, I still was worried. Like in my head, I really want to come home. I really want to come home. I want to come home. But me talking, talking nasty to my parents, and it was just so. Then honey, I'm not gonna even tell y'all every little thing because this gonna have to be a part 2. Cause honey, I want to tell y'all other stuff, like what lead to other stuff. Because honey, I'm gonna tell you how this little boy right here, this is the reason how for my bad mistakes when I was 17 years old. That's how that little boy came. And if y'all want that kind of video or part 2, please like, comment, and subscribe to this, because I really do want to tell y'all, because I want to tell y'all this because girls, okay, this is Edward. Okay, I want y'all to learn from my mistakes. I was young, I was dumb. Right now, I'm learning. I see the things that I'm doing. I got a son, and I don't want him to do the things I do. That's why I be trying to tell him, like, If your friends doing something, don't do it. If the whole crowd doing something, don't do it. Just be yourself. I mean, always be a leader, not a follower. Me, I was a follower. I see people do stuff, I want to do it. I mean, that was, I just screwed up too fast, which I shouldn't have. But if y'all want a part 2 to this story time, please like, heart, put a purple heart, since that's my favorite color. Put a purple heart in the comments, because I'm going to tell y'all all the juice of my poor decisions at the age of 17. About 16 or 17. But I was 17. I'm going to tell y'all exactly, because, ladies, this right here, this story is, I don't want y'all to do nothing I done. I want y'all to learn from my mistakes and make better choices. Don't grow up too fast. Don't grow up too fast. Stay a child. Stay in school. Listen to your parents. Obey the rules. Wherever you go, obey them. Because I want to tell y'all, I want y'all to actually get to know the things that I done. Poor choices that I done. It was nobody's fault. And nobody said, oh, you do that. No, that was me. I just really want to know what really, tongue-tie y'all. I really want to know what was out in the streets. So, like I said, if y'all want a part 2 to this, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I love y'all. Be blessed. Until the next time. Deuces.
I will give you the world, baby girl. You just gotta be world.